Lights are on.
And the race gets underway now then. Looks like they're all away. There's Kales Cole sort of dipping out, and she's making a good move there, isn't she? Kales Cole it is that's going to lead into the first corner at Clairvaux, I would think, and we'll pick up who is in second place in just a moment. They're making their way through Hawthorne for the first time. It looks like it's Pollard already up to second and Higginson's to third. That's not taking long. Where's Rob Wellham in all of this then? We'll pick up him in a moment. He's fifth, Rob Wellham, from the back of the grid, and Higginson is now going past Kales Cole and is right with Craig Pollard. So we've got two of the front runners, the second and first from race one already from this reverse grid into P1 and P2. Kieran.
Yeah, absolutely. Pollard already into first place, and they haven't even reached, basically, they only reached midpoint on lap one. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, Rob Wellham, there we go. There he is, behind the white car in the number 5. Just trying to make the inroads to catch back up to the people that he was racing again this morning. Thankfully that car is back out, that's always good to see. But yes, so these coming round the complex now. Third and fourth look quite close, and you've got this gigantic train that we're currently looking at as well. So yeah, there's a lot of cars still trying to find their position, still trying to position themselves on the track and everything. Rob Wellham currently in fifth place. And here we go, so Craig Pollard, followed by Higginson, followed by James Connell, followed by Kaylee Cole, and Rob Wellham in 5th, Sam Satchel in 6th, Thomas Westworth in 7th, 8th is Bert Chapman, 9th is Daniel Hunter.
Yeah, so it's the top 3 from race 1, all into the podium. There's one off in the gravel, though, at Clairvaux, I can see. Oh. It's the 44 car, Bert Chapman. Well, that's not Chapman's Corner, the name of his YouTube channel. Clairvaux is the place that he has gone off into the gravel trap and out of the race, I'm afraid, and he's only just on the edge of the circuit there. Meanwhile, Wellham is up another position. He's into 4th. He's past the Irish driver, Kales Cole, up into P4, and now he'll be hunting after James Clonell. But we have yellow flags on the exit of the hairpin because of the car that's in the gravel trap, and now the safety car coming out onto the circuit, which we kind of expected, didn't we?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you who this plays into the hands of, this Robert Wellham, because if you look, Clonell has lost 2 seconds to Higginson and Pollard in first and second place. So this means that Rob Wellham is going to be in 4th place, staring again at Craig Pollard and Higginson in first and second place, with only James Clonell in the middle of him and them.
So we are working lap 2 of this race, but the safety car is out because Bert Chapman has gone off, 33-year-old from Guildford, who works in software sales in the TSR, Team Sellers Racing, Suzuki-powered Jedi. The number 3 car, Tom Westworth, he's possibly picked up some damage. Looks like his front wing might be hanging off. We'll try and have a closer look at that if we can. Don't think we've had any reports of any contact involving him, but clearly he's picked up some damage. Damage.
You hungry?
I think so. Somewhere along the lines. So, see how much of this. There's the 3 car.
It looks a bit wonky, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of kind of flapping a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit more than...
On the right-hand side, just dropped a bit, I think.
Yeah, so that's something to be mindful of. That's Tom Westworth then, the 22-year-old from Rainhill. Works in car sales. Not Team Sellers Racing car. Karting back in 2008 did Tom. Leader then is Craig Pollard. Of course, Pollard was second in race 1, and Higginson, number 83, who is second, was the winner earlier on today. And third is Clonell, number 42, the 42-year-old from Manhattan, a software engineer. Started racing back in 2011 in Formula V. He was the Clubman's Cup champion in 2024. This car is a 2023 car that's run by Jedi Racing Cars. Again, another Suzuki hire piece of engineers. The majority of them do have.
Yes, and I've just seen as well, the recovery vehicle is on track down at turn 1 to pick up the Bert Chapman number 44 as well. So hopefully, I'd imagine, I can see it lifting at the moment, so possibly next time around the May. Here we go. So the car being recovered. So yeah, it won't be this time because the cars are just coming towards the complex now. But next time around, maybe we will be going racing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there, Kieran.
Yeah.
So Bert Chapman's car being taken away. The driver's out there. Sam Satchwell, he's in 6th position at the moment. Car number 19, 30-year-old from Southampton, a financial advisor. 2022 starter to his motorsport career. His car run by the Jedi team with his mechanic Gareth, who used to run some of the Mattel cars, and he's had this particular car since 2022, Sam, when he started racing. The other driver to talk to you about is Hunter, Danny Hunter, who's 40 from Cambridge, but formerly Manchester. He's a solar maintenance company owner. In his first season of racing, it's the ex-Ben Huntley car, now run by JSB Autos. And that car running in 9th position of the 10 cars that are still running, because we've lost Eric Cowell, we've lost Bert Chapman. Dave Shepherd did get underway from the pit lane, so he's running in 10th place. The grid for the 3rd race, by the way, tomorrow is set by the fastest lap times from this race. It's not a reverse grid, just a conventional grid, but it's set by the order of the fastest lap times. At the moment, that is putting Craig Pollard on pole position, but of course we've only had one flying lap so far. It'll be very tight for 2nd and 3rd though, Higginson and Clennell, but I suspect after we get going there'll be some more quick laps, unless it starts raining or something. With these cars on slick tyres, of course, the Hoosier tyres, that wouldn't be particularly pretty.
No, definitely not. But in all fairness, the sky went quite dark about an hour ago, just before the the Road Sports Championship went obviously on track. Now it looks like it seems brightening up a bit. I mean, there's no sun, but there's no real dark clouds around either.
No, I think it should stay fine for the rest of the day's racing. We've got 2 more races to come after this, of course. We've got the VSG Crypto Clio Sport Championship and the JDM Plates Mazda 7 Championship to conclude the first day's racing here at Croft. And then don't forget 7 more races tomorrow, including the Tiki World Club Enduro Championship. That's the 2.5-hour race tomorrow, getting underway at 3:20 in the afternoon. So a long old race, the longest of the season for the Tiki World Club Enduro Championship. Look forward to that. Meanwhile, there's still 7 minutes or so for this F1000 racing. I think the safety car lights are out, which means that we should get to the 5 or 6 laps of racing, I think, once we get back underway.
Absolutely. So we're coming back through the complex now, and it's all on Craig Pollard now. So obviously he's going to be backing up Higginson into Clennell, and obviously what he wants to do is give Clennell a chance at Higginson. So Higginson is distracted and he can get on with it. Speaking of getting on with it, he has gone. So I think he may have caught the napping just a little bit, and therefore already Robert William is starting to look at an overtake. Pollard comes out the last corner and he's absolutely away. Already Wellham in 2 side by side alongside Clennell, and I think coming down towards the corner, they're still side by side, and just about Clennell holds on to 3rd place, but for how much longer? Coming through Hawthorne now, and you see, what's happening?
That's Westworth getting ahead of Sam Satchwell, I think. Yeah, so 3, Tom Westworth through to 6th position. I think with that restart, Rob Wellham was mindful of not overtaking Clennell before the timing line.
True.
And he has now got past him, I think, going into Tower Bend. So there we go, he's gone through. And Westworth has also gone through. He's gone to 5th position now at the expense of Chaos Cole. So Tom Westworth there, 2 places he's made up in quick succession, the 22-year-old from Rain Hill.
Yes, 100%. So there we go. Rob Wellham is now into 3rd place, and obviously we're looking now at Sam Satchwell, Kaylee Cole, and Thomas Westworth. So these 3 obviously have been fighting so far all day long. Really, they're right with each other, as the top 3 have been as well. As I'm looking at the top 3 out of the commentary box window, and it looks like Higginson is closing back up on Pollard, and Wellham is closing up on Higginson. So these 3 are just slowly climbing towards each other. Here we go though. Kaylee Cole around the outside of Sam Satchwell. No, sorry, he's trying to overtake Sam Satchwell, couldn't quite make any inroads. Now right in the slipstream of Sam, going towards turn 1, can't quite make any inroads, and is still stuck behind that number 119.
Look who's done the fastest lap of the race, a 1:18.659. Rob Wellham, as he has got past James Glenell. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's a feisty driver, is Rob Wellham. He has got these two very much in his sights. He was a second behind Higginson at the start of the lap. It looks like it's less than that now. Looking out the window and looking at the screens, and it was 8/10 between Pollard and Higginson. So we've probably got 4 minutes. We've probably got 4 laps left after this, I would think. Maybe 3. But either way, Rob Wellham is, I think, going to be in contention here for second place, maybe even the win.
I mean, it honestly could go either to any of them. Pollard, Higginson, Wellham, I wouldn't count any of them out at this point. Even though there's, 1 point, probably at this point, 1.5 seconds separating the 3 of them. We've seen already today what happens when these 3 get close. So yeah, I wouldn't count any of them out. So on the start finish straight, let's have a look at the gaps. So it is 1 second to Higginson from Pollard, and then basically a second as well. So they're actually separated by just over 2 seconds now.
Well,
so
yeah, Pollard's now done the best lap there. So
yeah.
1:18.220. Wellham and Higginson to within 10/100th of a second, almost identical lap time. So not a lot to choose between them on the last lap. So he's still got his head down there as Rob Wellham, but pretty equidistant the first 3 at the moment. James Glenell's about 2 and a bit seconds behind them in 4th, and Westwood 5th, and Satchwell in 6th position. There's Wellham on screen now, the number 5 car for the driver from Ipswich. Quite experienced now in F1000, been racing it for a good few seasons and has had championship titles under his belt. He was the champion in 2022, the runner-up in 2023. He was 3rd in 2024. He's trying to reverse that trend of being 1 place further down the championship table each year, I think, this season, and reset that to P1, I would think, this year, if he possibly can. He's got a little bit of an uphill struggle with that retirement from earlier on in the day, but he's still going after the top 2 here, Craig Pollard and Matthew Higginson. And I think we are going to get, it might even be 3 more laps out of this, because, yeah, they could get 3 more laps, I reckon, out of this. And now Higginson's in the best lap of the race, 1:18.031. So, and Pollard there, massively out of shape, Kieran.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a little bit too much on the brakes. You can see he's just trying to gain as much time as he can and just press that brake a little bit too much. As he started to turn in the back, it was still locking up just a little bit too much, and obviously the back just slid out of the way. But that means that Higginson is now right on the back of Pollard, coming down towards Tower. He's having to defend. He's pulling to the right as Higginson goes to the left, right on the outside. Can't quite make the move. Pollard sits right behind him. Robert Wellham is now watching this going, if these two make a little mistake, I'm there. So going towards the Clark S's now, going down towards Bar Croft and Sunny Inn. Craig Pollard is now, he was in a comfortable position, almost a second ahead of Higginson, and he's now got him right behind him. He is making sure that he stays there, but Higginson, he doesn't want to.
Yeah, so they're making their way through the complex for, I think, with 2 more laps to go at the end of this one, which will make it 10-lap race in spite of that safety car intervention, and we've got a real grandstand finish on our hands here. I think these are the 3 drivers that throughout the season are going to be the main ones to watch this year. They've just got that little bit of an edge over everyone else. Look at the gap, it's come down to 3/10 with that mistake for Pollard at the beginning of that lap. Nobody improving their lap times that time through. The 3 of them now covered by 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, I think Higginson just took a little bit too much curb there and just flicked the car a little bit too wide. So that's going to give Craig Pollard a little bit of breathing room. But does that mean that oh no, never mind, ignore me, I'm talking absolute rubbish. Because Higginson is right on the back of Pollard still. He's having a bit of luck, just pulled out the 6 ever so slightly, just to show Craig Pollard his nose. Craig Pollard not phased at all. He keeps his car on the position, he brakes where he needs to, and he goes around Tower Bend without any issues. So through the Clark S's, and yeah, there's a bit more of a gap now forming between themselves and Robert Wellham. So I think it's now just a 2-horse race between Pollard and Higginson. They should be going on to the final lap this time around. So they've only got, 2 and a bit miles to decide who is, there we go, 2.1 miles to decide who is going to take this win. Can Higginson get the second one today? Can Pollard get the win?
Is Rob Wellham struggling a little bit? That's the question. He's not really taken the fight to Higginson and Pollard in the way that we thought they might. Is the leaders to go over the line and should get the last lap board this time? Yes, they do. But Wellham, yeah, he's dropped back again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is this car going to get to the end of the race? We don't know what's wrong with it in the first place.
No.
They've patched it up, got it out. That was a slow lap from him in the 1:20s. Can he even get it to the checkered flag? He could really do with the points.
100%, and James Clennell is right on the back of him now. I can see it out of the commentary box window, but we're focusing on the leaders because they are nose to tail. There we go. There's Robert Wellham and James Clennell right nose to tail. Clennell is looking to the left, trying to go round the outside. They almost touch wheels, but they're leaving each other just enough room. Round the outside, James Clennell. That is absolutely astonishing racecraft from both of them.
Or even Matthew Higginson getting past Craig Pollard.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was like...
And they're still side by side as they head through the Jim Clark S's. And it's Higginson that has done it. He's got through ahead of Pollard now.
Oh!
Into the back market traffic they go, and that has undone Matt Higginson's good work. Pollard's got it back. The traffic sorted it. Pollard's going to win this. Out of the race has gone James Clennell, I think that is. I think he's stopped out on the circuit now, and it's going to be Craig Pollard that comes through to win, or is it into the hair from the inside? Higginson up the inside line. Nose is cut off him by Craig Pollard. It's the sprint to the line now, but I think Pollard's got it in him to make it 1-1 between these two in the F1000 Championship this year. Pollard wins. Higginson second. Rob Wellham brings the car home in a slightly sick third place, and then it's fourth position going the way of Sam Satchwell. Cales Cole is fifth, and up into the top six, I think, will come Dan Hunter, because James Clennell, we saw his car pull off on the final lap of the race. He stopped over there at the chicane, so a bit of attrition in that race. We've got Clennell retiring. We lost Westworth as well towards the end. We hadn't spotted that before, as well as Chapman and Cowell. So a few cars with some remedial work needing to be done overnight, it would seem. But yeah, a dramatic final lap. I thought Higginson had got it, and then the traffic came into play.
100%, and this is what we're talking about during the road sports. Traffic management is such an important skill to acquire. Not so much probably in F1000 racing, but in motorsport you have to. And in that instance, it was just completely caught Higginson off guard. But importantly, Higginson has the fastest lap of the race. That means he's on pole for tomorrow.
That's right. So here are the results of that race, the second of the weekend for the F1000 Championship. Craig Pollard took the win in car number 1 at the end of 10 laps of racing, beating number 83, Matthew Higginson, by 0.482 seconds. Third place went the way of number 5, Rob Wellham, 4.014 seconds behind the winner. Fourth was number 19, Sam Satchwell. Cales Cole, number 18, was in fifth. And sixth place was number 98, Dan Hunter. He was the last driver on the lead lap. James Clennell will be removed from the results because he didn't actually make it to the checkered flag, so it'll be Dave Shepherd in 7th and Stuart Miller in 8th, the last of the finishers for round 2 of the F1000 Championship. And as I say, they are back out again tomorrow. That'll be the third race on tomorrow's programme. We get underway tomorrow with practice and qualifying for the Tequila Club Enduro Championship at 12 o'clock. We'll be on air around about 12:30 for the first race of the day, which will be the Nankang Tyre Sports 1000 Championship. They've got 2 races tomorrow. We've also got the Sustain Fuels Formula V, the F1000s, of course, the VSG Crypto Cleo Sport Championship, the JGM Place Master 7s, more Sports 1000 action before we get to the TQR Club Enduro Championship. But before that, we've got 2 races still to come today. The Clios and the Master 7s are still to come this evening. You can see, though, the cars heading down the pit lane at the end of that F1000 race, and Tom Butterworth will be moving in to speak to them in just a few moments. Reminder, if you're here at the circuit, cafe open, last orders at 7:15, and they're open until 8 o'clock tonight for your lasagna. So that's what you can have if you're at the circuit. If you're watching on the live stream, of course, you're welcome to have whatever you like for your tea. Last car just coming into the pit lane, that is the 98 car of Dan Hunter. He's being signalled down to the part made by the marshals, but let's head down to Tom Butterworth.
We're just going to make our way round here. What an eventful last lap that was. Just wait on Craig getting his gloves off and his helmet off. And Just see how he found that one. It was described. Rob Wellham dropping out earlier on was described as defeat from the jaws of victory, and I think this was victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, I was a bit scrappy in that one actually. I think I got in my head a little bit actually. I was going to say to the guys, I think it was just one of those. I think when you get your first win of the year ticked off, then you can kind of relax a little bit, and you wouldn't think that it would apply when you got number one on the car, but I think always, you just want to get the first win ticked off and kind of go from there, show you can do it again, and still remember how to drive after 6 months off in the winter.
Indeed. Well, it was great action side by side all the way through. About half a lap, I think you were side by side with each other.
Yeah, I just made a mistake a couple of laps before that, going into braking. I could see Matt in my mirrors, and I really wanted to just break that toe that extra bit. I didn't need to, and of course I locked up going into the first corner, just got the back end out ever so slightly, and then that closed the gap to Matt, and then it was just a mistake from there. Could see Matt right on my tail, and that's the thing with this class. The guys are some good drivers out there, and they kept me honest. So.
I just wanted to ask, because the mirrors are really, really small, and if you've got to drive for 15 minutes looking in them, how good are they? I mean, do they wobble about and stuff? Can you actually see pretty well behind you? What's it like?
Well, luckily for me, Matt decided to paint his car bright green, so I can see him all right.
Fair comment. All right, we'll move on. Congratulations, Craig. So we're going to move round to Matt, who's at the back of his car here. Matt, yes. I mean, we were just saying with Craig there, with great action side by side for about half a lap. I mean, I was pretty scared watching it. How did you feel in the car? And then just walk us through what happened on the last lap.
Yeah, last lap, I could obviously clearly to see Craig was struggling on his tyres, so real big pressure up on into tower. He went defensive. My brakes felt strong, so I went right on the outside basically, and we were sort of neck and neck between, the fast S's, and our back markers got in the way. I couldn't really predict, and obviously Craig got a better probably view of what was happening, and he just sneaked past. So yeah, it would have been a great move if I'd have finished the race in first, but happy with the result. Good racing with Craig, very fair, and yeah, on to the next one.
One each now.
One each, yeah. I was happy with the pace at the end, pushing him, so didn't really have the pace in race one, to be honest. So whatever we did was good, and yeah, we'll move on. Thank you.
Great stuff, thanks very much. And we'll come round finally to Rob, who was leading race one until we had a mechanical, so I need to ask and find out what that was, and then we'll talk us through what happened in race two as well.
Yeah, engine went in the first one, which is a shame, because obviously the engine that we've got in the other one, it's obviously had all the work done to it, like all these boys. So obviously we've got the spare engine which we put in, and I was still catching them lot on a stock motor, so that was good. And then pretty much got latched onto the back of I've gone mind blank. Matt. Yep. And then I lost third gear, so then the whole way then I had to quick shift into fourth.
We wondered whether you were nursing an issue or not.
Yeah, I've lost third, so tomorrow will be fun with probably just all 5 gears basically. So
fingers crossed then. The pace is definitely there in the car when it's working well.
Hopefully it rains, so which I don't know if the forecast is rain, but
looks decent tomorrow by the looks of things.
Oh, lovely. My luck gets better.
Right, well that brings to an end today's action for F1000.